The sum of the magnitudes of two forces acting at a point is 18 and the magnitude of the resultant is 12. Okay, if the resultant is at 90 degrees with the force of smaller magnitude, what are the magnitudes of the forces? Okay, now let us try to understand graphically or geometrically what the statement says over here. The sum of the magnitudes of the two forces, let us say the two forces are A and B. If we add both of them, the sum of the magnitudes of the two forces is 18. So one thing that is given is A plus B is equal to 18. Okay, and the magnitude of the resultant is 12. That means if we find out the magnitude of A plus B, it is coming as 12. Okay, now one more thing that is given here is that the resultant is making an angle 90 degree with the force of smaller magnitude. So let us say we assume that the magnitude of A is smaller than that of B and the resultant makes an angle of 90 degree with the vector A. Okay, so let us say this is the resultant which has got a magnitude 12 and this is the smaller vector. With the smaller vector A, the resultant C makes an angle of 90 degree. So the vector B will be from the head of A to the head of resultant. This is vector B, tail of A, head of A, then tail of B, head of A. So if you join tail of A to the head of B, you are going to get A plus B vector, which is the resultant. Understood? So finally, after the discussion, we are getting this diagram. In this diagram, we are taking the smaller vector as P and this is the bigger vector. So the resultant of this and this vector is here. The magnitude of this is 12. Okay, this is given to us. Now also this angle alpha is given as 90 degree. Okay, now let's start doing the mathematical part. We are given that the magnitude R will be equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos theta. Let us say this is the angle theta between the two vectors. Okay, so this is one. Another is tan alpha is how much? Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. Now here we know that the angle alpha is 90. So tan 90 will be infinity and this will be infinity only if P plus Q is equal to 0. Okay, so P plus Q cos theta should be 0. Okay, which gives you an expression that P is equal to minus Q cos theta. Okay, now we will substitute this value of Q cos theta in this expression. Right, so we are getting R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square minus let's say we don't put minus now, 2 Q cos theta, and this Q cos theta will be equal to minus P. So the final expression will be P square plus Q square minus 2 P square. Okay, and now this can be written as under root of Q square minus P square. Okay, therefore Q square minus P square will be equal to R square. Now the value of resultant R is given as how much? 12. So this is 12 squared, and q square minus p square can be written as q minus p and q plus p. Q plus p, that is the addition of the magnitude, is given to us as 18. So the value of q minus p will be equal to 144 divided by 18. If you solve this, you will get 8. Now we have q plus p as 18 and we have q minus p as 8. So the value of q will be 18 plus 8 by 2, which is 13, and the value of p will be equal to 18 minus 8 by 2, which is 5. Okay, so finally the diagram will be like this: 5, this is one vector, another vector is 13, and this gives a resultant which is 12.